Money is the most highly anticipated subject in the law of attraction community, yet it seems to be the hardest to get a grasp on. In this compilation video, Dr. Joe Dispenza and Louise talk about how the law of attraction works with money, why many people are not having any success with it, and how it can overall change your life.
The simple part that most people don't understand is that every thought we think and every word we speak is creating our future. Our thoughts go out into the universe and are accepted and brought back to us as experience. Now that is a very simple thing, but most people don't get it. They don't understand it. They've never heard it before and they think it's ridiculous. But if you can really accept the fact that every time you think a thought and every time you speak a word, you are creating, and you're creating your own life. And this is simple, but it's not easy to accept. But once you accept it, then you can start deliberately creating what you want in your life. And you begin to be aware of what you don't want in your life and how you are contributing to it. Now, I think this has been around forever, but for some reason in the last 20 years, the universe has wanted this to go out among all the people, or all the people that are ready for it. See, most of us just think, and we don't pay any attention to what we're thinking. We're just doing it. But that's something you need to train yourself to do, to begin to train yourself to be aware of what you're thinking. And one of the ways to do that is to periodically say to yourself, what am I thinking? Would I like this thought to create my life? Would I like to have the experience that this thought could bring to me? Now, it takes a while to do that, but even if we could begin on the smallest level to be aware of our thinking, we can start to make changes. To begin with, you start by doing what we call doing affirmations. And that is making positive statements about your life that are positive, and you do them deliberately. You might do them in the morning, you might do them at noon, you might do them at night, you might do them, twice a day or whatever. But you do this and you let this become a habit. And as you start to do them, things will begin to change, maybe on a very small level. Doing an affirmation is either writing it down, writing it on the wall or the mirror, or using just saying it. What I like people to do is to stand in front of a mirror and do their affirmations. Because there's something very powerful about looking in your own eyes and accepting yourself, or noticing that you reject yourself when you're saying something positive about yourself. So that would be a very beginning way to start. The universe is listening to everything you say and everything you think and saying, okay, you can get that. So then it starts to bring you in and bring things into you. If you do a good general positive statement for yourself, the universe will figure out how to manifest that, how to bring that about in your life. So things could happen that you wouldn't expect at all, but they will happen. If you think of doing your positive affirmations, it's like planting a seed in the ground. It's not necessarily true at the moment, but it is something you want to have be true. So you put the seed in, and you plant a seed and you expect it to grow. Or you maybe plant 3 seeds just in case. You expect them to grow. And you don't wait for 2 days and then dig in the earth and say, what's happening, what's happening? You expect that thing to grow because you know there's a law and a process. And the seed will grow if it is in the right soil and it has the right amount of moisture. Making it really a habit and doing it every day. Doing something every morning when you wake up, that's a really good time. And another good time is when you go to sleep at night. And gratitude works a lot. Just being grateful for everything. I always say the universe loves gratitude. The more you're grateful for what the good is in your life, the more good you get to be grateful about. If you have very strong beliefs within you that you don't deserve good things in your life, and a lot of people have that, then there can be delays. And sometimes people say, well, affirmations don't work. I've done them. But when they're doing, for instance, prosperity affirmations, and they've done some prosperity affirmations, and they say it doesn't work, nothing's happening. And I say, well, all right, how many prosperity affirmations did you do in a day? And they'll say 3, probably. And they say, all right, how many poverty affirmations did you do this day? And that could be 300, depending on where you're coming from and what is running through your mind. See, I have this, one of my thoughts about life is that only good lies before me. And I've been saying this for many years. So it doesn't really matter to me what happens in life, because I know it's going to be good. There are lots of things you can do to help you become more conscious of what is going on. And because so many of our belief systems really are unconscious or subconscious, we're not aware of them. They're just things that were bred into us as we were children, is to take a little time to figure out what they are. And I always say a really good exercise is to take a big sheet of paper and write on top of it, what do I think about money? What do I think about any subject you can think of? And just write all the things that come out of your thoughts. And whether they sound good or not, just write them down. And any one subject, if you just write them all down and then look at them and see how many are positive and how many are negative. And if you can take those negative ones and turn them around, make them into positive affirmations, then you can start clearing up what you believe about, say, money that is not positive for you, and or is keeping you from bringing money in. And you can do that with lots of things in your life, so you can really begin to realize what you do believe about these things. So you can't change your thoughts if you don't know what your thoughts are. There is a law of thinking, and we are beginning to learn about it. And it is like a computer. If you have this gorgeous computer put in front of you, and you don't know what to do with it, it's a piece of junk. But if you learn the language of the computer, miracles happen. And that is what the law of thinking is. When you learn how it works, miracles happen. What you think and what you believe is what will come true for you. Your thoughts create your life. It's that simple. And when we can get that, we can make enormous changes.
When people begin to understand how to apply these principles and they begin to practice them and make them a skill, get ready. Because something unusual is going to happen in your life. That's the law. What if you woke up in the morning and you place your hand over your heart and you say, I'm going to teach you what it feels like to be noble today. I'm going to train you to know what abundance is. And you begin to marry a clear intention with an elevated emotion, and you memorize that feeling, and you're able to maintain that modified state of mind and body your entire day. Get ready, because something unusual is going to happen in your life. That's the law. If I want to be wealthy and abundant, then I can't feel lack, because a wealthy person never feels lack. And if I feel lack, I'm going to attract lack. Gold only attracts gold. Lead doesn't attract gold. And so then when we see our life now as an initiation, and we have to meet the conditions in our life from a greater level of mind every day, then wouldn't it be a good idea every day to ask yourself a question like, what is the greatest expression of myself that I can be today?
The elevated emotion is the carrier of the thought. So all energy, all frequency carries information. The faster the frequency, the higher the energy, the more elevated the emotion, combined with a clearer intention, is like a laser, because you're creating a more coherent signature. And we know, because we've measured this, that when people have a coherent brain and a coherent heart, something amazing is going to happen in their life. It's not just feeling the gratitude, because we know that just having an elevated emotion doesn't affect matter. We know that just the clear intention of seeing something change doesn't affect matter. They've done experiments on this. You have to combine then the clear intention with the elevated emotion. The emotion is the energy, the frequency, the carrier of the thought. The thought is the intent, it is the direction, it is the specific field, frequency. So it's like tuning a radio dial. So if it's all about vibration, it's all about energy. When there's a vibrational match between your energy and that potential that exists in the quantum field, when there's a vibrational match, it's going to find you. Intention is getting clear on what you want. So let's say you want a new home. Let's say you want a beautiful garden. Well, then start ripping out magazine pictures of gardens that you love. Start drawing pictures. Start seeing it. Start writing down the things that you want. Throw it up somewhere and then add another dream and add another dream, and keep your mind, if you keep your conscious mind on that, your subconscious mind will take you there. Now, I'm not an impatient person, because I know that impatience means I believe that something's not going to happen. But we're here to experience life. We're here to enjoy the magnificence of our creations. And our senses then become the artist that writes the story in our biology. So then, when you start to see that home and that vision, you start making the choices for it, and you step into the unknown, and you become the creator, and you do something that's never been done before. And it brings you joy. It brings you excitement, and it has meaning behind it. Then your body is always following your mind. So of course it's going to take time, but it's no different than a garden that you tend in your life. You're always going to be pulling weeds out, and always going to be pruning branches, and you're always going to be fertilizing and pulling rocks out. But that's the joy of the creation, because you get to eat the fruit of your own creation. So then our senses should be the last to experience what our mind has created. So the intention then represents all the details, but all the details can be summarized in a symbol, a letter, a picture, one picture, and you know that that picture means all of those things because you reviewed all of those things. If you hold the picture, you hold the symbol, you hold the dream house, you hold the dream garden. But you don't say, oh, when this dream garden comes, then I'm going to be happy. You say, the thought I'm having is the experience, and the experience then produces the emotion. And once the emotion begins to occur, now your brain and body are in the future instead of in the past.
Once you start opening your heart, it begins to move into coherence. It begins to produce a measurable magnetic field up to 3 meters wide. Now that's frequency, that's energy. And all that energy, that frequency, carries information, carries an intent. So then when you're feeling gratitude and your heart is open, you're broadcasting energy into the field, a frequency. You lay the intent of the thought of your health or your wealth. That frequency can carry the thought of your wealth. It can carry the thought of your health. If you're suffering, suffering does not carry, that energy does not carry the thought of your wealth. It carries a different set of thoughts. If you're going to believe in that future that you're imagining with all of your heart, it better be open and activated. Right. And you better know how to self-regulate. And you have to know the moment you disconnect from the energy of your future because of some circumstance in your life and you lose that feeling, if you're practicing it on a daily basis with your eyes closed, then the next level is to be able to open your eyes and do it right in the moment and be able to self-regulate and change the frustration from some experience in your life back to the energy of your future. Now, that requires great awareness and great effort. But if you have a community of people that are practicing this on a daily basis and they're connected to their future because that's where their mind is, they begin to want the future more than the emotions of